we have a purpose. The first question, who am I? This is a question of identity. An average person never attempts to answer this question because it's actually very frightening. An average person is struggling with identity crisis because Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 questions that will help you discover your purpose. It's going to be a 2-part video. So this is going to be the part 1. We'll talk about the 5 questions that will help you become successful. And in the second part, I would emphasize more on your purpose. So let's get right into the video. What if I told you that not one of 8 billion of us here on earth is a mistake? Each of us have individual assignments that we are supposed to carry out. In other words, there was an assignment created for you before God created you as a person, before he thought it was necessary for you to come into the earth. Likewise, everything that God created. You know what I realized? I realized that even the flowers that have different colors and all of that, it's not basically for beauty. In my research, I discovered that some insects do not see certain colors. So each color is supposed to feed certain kind of insects. Do you understand? So nothing is not useful on earth. Everything has a purpose. Everybody, everything, animals, insects, flowers, you and me, we have a purpose. Most of us don't know our purpose on earth. We don't know why we exist. But in this video, I'll be running you through 5 questions that would help you discover your purpose. Please jot them down and never forget them. The first question, who am I? This is a question of identity. An average person never attempts to answer this question because it's actually very frightening. Who am I? Who are you? I'm asking, who are you? Not what you do. I know if I ask you, who are you? You say, oh, I'm a lawyer, I'm a content creator, I'm an influencer. That's what you do. Who are you? So that's a question you want to write down and don't forget it. Who am I? An average person is struggling with identity crisis because they don't know who they are and they are trying to become somebody else. That's why they find their sense of value once they do things that other people do, or they find their sense of value from wearing designers, which are other people. If you don't wear Gucci, if you don't wear Dior, if you don't wear Alexander, if you don't wear these people, you don't feel like you're valuable as a person. That's a problem. You get what I mean? So you have to know who you are as a person. You have to take time out and find out who you are. That's why certain people will do anything to have these designers. And I'm not in any way saying that designers are bad. I wear designers, but when you derive your sense of worth, when you derive your sense of worth from a designer, that if you don't wear it, you don't think you're valuable, you don't think people would look at you twice, or you don't think people will assume that you have something valuable in you. That's a problem. That's the question of who am I trying to be answered. And when you do anything to adjust your face, your size, you do anything to adjust it. That's the problem. That's the problem of who am I trying to find answers. That's why the beauty and the fashion industry would do anything. Like they usually milk these of people because they know people don't know their identity. So that's how they thrive in the market. The second question is, where am I from? It's a question of your source. A lot of people think that where they are from is their ethnicity. Like what I mean is, I ask you, where are you from? I'm from the UK, I'm from Jamaica, I'm from Nigeria. That's not where you're from. If you're trying to find where you're from and you're checking your ethnicity, you'll be lost. You'll be lost. And the problem is, if you do not know who you are, you can never know where you're from. So that's another question you need to sit down and find out. Then the third question, why am I here? This is a question of purpose. This is the question. This is it. An average person doesn't know why they exist. An average person is just living. Do you know what I mean? Like they are just living life. They don't even know why they are here. That's why people go to jobs that they don't like. They're working with people that they don't like. They're not happy. They're being paid less than what they deserve. It's because they don't know why they exist. And that's a very, very terrible thing for a human being. There's nothing worse than that. I realized this when I was on this journey, that if you do not know why you exist, my goodness, you'll be so damned with your life. So that's why we're going to deal with it in this series and in the next part of this series. I'll be sharing with you why discovering your purpose is important and why God wants you to succeed. So make sure you don't miss the next part of this series. The fourth question, what can I do? This is a question of your potential. An average person doesn't know what they can do. They don't know what they can do. 90% of people watching this video don't even use their capacity to the fullest. An average person is using just 10% of their brain power. So what are we even saying? What are we saying? So if you want to become a genius in this current society, all you have to do is just use 11% of your brain. And boom, you're a genius. That's how mediocre the society has become. The problem is our culture and our educational system seems to be the one to tell people what they can do. They seem to be the one to tell you your potential because they set exams for you, and maybe if you get an average, maybe you get a C, they call you an average student. And maybe we're just even having a bad day. That's not who you are. That's why most of the people that are doing a lot in the world right now, them Bill Gates, they couldn't complete their education because the school system cannot grade you. They don't know who you are. Do you get what I mean? So do not let anybody tell you who you are. Nobody can tell you who you are. Nobody can tell you who you are. Don't listen to anybody. The only person that is allowed to tell you who you are is your creator. Who created you? Go and check the book. What did he tell you that you are? That is who you are. Do not let any educational system tell you that, oh, this is what you can do. And this is the issue. Some people are still living under that secondary school or university grades that they gave you. They told you you couldn't do addition, you couldn't do multiplication, and you're stuck with it. You don't even like to use calculator. It's the problem. These are the issues. So do not let anybody tell you who you are. Let God be true and every other man be a what? Then the fifth question, where am I going? This is a question of destiny. There's nobody that doesn't want to know where they are going. Where's my destination? Where will I be in 50 years? Where will I be in 10 years? What will happen to me when I'm 70? This is a question on an average living person's mind. If you're alive and thriving as a person, even if you're not even thriving, if you're just alive, this question is on your mind. Like this question, you can't even, don't lie to me. So everybody wants to know where they are going. Everybody wants to know their destiny. Everybody wants to know their destination. So you want to sit down and decipher these questions. I'll go over them again. You have the first question is, who am I? That's the question of your identity. Then the second question is, why am I here? Or where am I from? That's the question of your ethnicity, your source. Then the third question is, what's my purpose? What am I doing here? You need to know why you're here. Then the fourth question is, what can I do? What's my potential? What can I do as a person? Then the fifth question is, where am I going to? Where am I going? What's my destiny? What am I doing? After all of this, where am I going to? These 5 questions are currently frustrating the human race. I can tell you categorically that both the CEO in a Fortune 500 company and somebody in Yaba Market selling shoes and bags, everybody is one way or the other trying to answer these 5 questions. Like everybody is struggling to answer these 5 questions. And the moment that you can answer these questions, I promise you, your life will never remain the same. If you can sit it out, take time out, sit down with the Holy Spirit, pray. Let God reveal who you are to you. Let Him tell you where you're from. Let Him tell you what your purpose is. Let Him tell you what you can do. And let Him tell you where you're headed. Trust me, if you have these 5 questions answered, your life will be simple. You won't even have any problem. So how I got into this was I basically realized that I was just doing religion. I was just going to church. Nothing was happening to me. I just picked up my Bible. I started reading my Bible myself. Then I opened the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and my life exploded in my face. I'm like, really? So this is what I am. This is who I am. Okay, I get it now. Do you know what I mean? So that really changed my idea. It changed my OT about myself. I saw myself in a different light. And yeah, it really changed my life. I'm not even going to lie to you. It was in that quest I realized that there's actually something worse than death. Like, there's something worse than death, and it's a life without a purpose. Like, if your life doesn't have a purpose, if your life doesn't have meaning, there's no point. Just there's no point. That's worse than death. Do you know what I mean? So don't forget that in the second part of this series, I'm going to be talking about success, how to discover your purpose, and all of that good stuff. So make sure you don't miss that video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you, and don't forget to go through those questions by yourself. And I pray the good Lord helps you. I pray He helps you discover who you are. He helps you know where you're from. He helps you know your potential. He helps you know your purpose, and He helps you know where you're going. And I pray this video gets to the end of the earth, to people that really need it. In the name of Jesus. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you on my next video. Bye.